my God, Michelle, you just gave me something called ice chips. Is it American?
I should probably talk about on Michelle Sells.
Because you want them to send you something.
Free. Because they're like $5 a thing.
Where did you get them?
Erewhon.
Okay, let me see.
But Whole Foods has them too. And what's great about them is it's made with xylitol.
And this is not an ad. This is a non-sponsored little talk ad.
Yeah.
It's sweetened with xylitol. Now, that sounds dangerous.
It's not. Is it the healthiest
thing? Can I have another one, please?
Yeah.
They're delicious.
The healthiest thing in the world is not to have any sweetener at all.
Right.
But it's plant-based, and it also fights cavities, meaning dentists will recommend sweeteners, candies with xylitol, because it actually has a property that fights off cavities versus just not being sugar, if that makes sense.
Some people don't believe in climate change, and I disagree with them because I do believe in climate change.
It should be obvious.
Well, I don't believe in xylitol.
Okay.
I don't believe that xylitol will fight off cavities.
I do believe that it fights off cavities. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. And then has all organic ingredients in these ice chips. This is the cinnamon. Mm-hmm. They even have a licorice one, which is to die for.
How much is a tin of that?
Unfortunately, they're like almost like $5.
Well, that's not so bad.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. No corn, sugar, soy, wheat, gluten, or dairy. It's vegan. And
I thought you were going to say like $30 or something.
No, $5 is a lot for a little tin of mints.
How long will one of those last you?
Well, if you use them sparingly, a day.
Yeah. So I've got my Tic Tacs. What do we have? We have something else
Well,
there,
there's
too.
RuPaul mints.
That's what we're eating.
Yeah, there's
RuPaul mints.
Yeah.
Where do those come from?
I don't know. I'm thinking China because they were bought in bulk.
There's no xylitol in there.
No, that's probably got some bad stuff.
Some cane
no,
sugar?
I don't think it's sugar because they're sugarless. So I think it's like aspartame and the bad stuff. Sucralose.
It's just so funny. If you live long enough, everything becomes bad. You know, there are studies done.
Yes.
And somebody's going to debunk. There you go. Because Dubuque is
Iowa.
It's in Iowa, right?
But I was with you. I had you. Somebody's gonna Iowa that bitch.
Right, because I'm from the Show Me State. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
you are.
Missouri, honey. But those are delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're on that healthy side. And I
Yeah.
usually just use a peppermint oil and vegetable glycerin
Do
breath
you use
spray.
the doTERRA peppermint oil?
I do, but that's really strong. So you're not
Yeah.
going to use that. You can water that down
Yeah.
and put it in like a little pump to make it more of a palatable
Well,
thing.
I got to tell you, I went and had a smoothie at a place over near in Venice here in California, and I think it was a pistachio mint smoothie.
I mean, it sounds delicious.
It was delicious. They put a couple of drops of the peppermint
doTERRA?
from doTERRA into the
Here's
thing.
the hard thing about buying doTERRA, and our listeners will understand this. It's a multi-level marketing thing.
Yeah.
So you have to know somebody who sells doTERRA to get doTERRA.
That's not true. I get my doTERRA from Amazon. I buy it on Amazon.com.
Do you know it's real? Because
It is.
90% of the products that say there's something. No, there's been a whole big, especially with supplements.
Yeah.
That they say they are and they're not.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So
you mean the MAC makeup I got at Santee Alley?
it's FAC.
It's not MAC. It's not MAC.
It's FAC.
It's FAC.
Girl, it's FAC. FAC.
No, this is definitely the doTERRA, the one I got. You know, they sent me a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, which is great.
You should. We love it. We both swear
But
by
Michelle,
it.
I know you love getting free stuff, but I've said this time and time again. Free stuff is way too expensive. It comes at such a high cost.
I agree. But there's certain things that I'm willing to take the bullet for. Like Chevy, I'm still waiting for the Corvette. I mean,
Yes.
I'll talk about you forever.
Yes.
But for real, there's certain things like when I get excited about a product, even like this ice chips candy, I want to tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
It's not going to benefit me. If
Right.
they send me some, I'd be grateful. If not, I'm still going to buy
Who
it.
makes ice chip, this thing that we love with xylitol?
It's called, it says Granny Approved Ice Chips Candy. That's the name of the company.
It's called Ice Chips Candy.
IceChipsCandy.com.
And I know where the Air one here in Hollywood is.
Yeah.
Where do you
Calabasas.
go? Oh, there's one out there.
One in Calabasas, it's major. That's my go-to place. But you can also get these at Sprouts and I think even Whole Foods sometimes, depending. And your local health food store, when you live in those places that might not have it. Overseas, I'm not really sure where to get it. It's an American company.
Well, no, you put it in Google. You find everything.
And you go to Amazon, and I'm sure something like this will be real and up and up. So, I mean, what I love, I get excited about and I share.
Yeah.
It's when people ask me to talk about something that I don't
Right.
love or believe in, that's where the conflict comes.
Right.
So I don't do that.
So if the NRA asks you to talk about their new assault,
I'm going to pass.
you're going to pass.
I'm going to say thank you.
What if they gave you a lot of money?
No. No, I've thought about this before because I was asked to do something that it didn't resonate very well with me, and I had to pass, and it was money based. And it was like, okay, I'm not a gazillionaire. It's not easy for me to say no. But the older I get, the more I realize that integrity is worth something.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Now, you talked about these sort of pyramid scheme. It's not a scheme. I mean, it's
Some are schemes.
What's the term you use for
MLM, multi-level marketing.
Multi-level marketing,
Which is the new way to say.
Like Amway and pyramid schemes.
It's the new way to say pyramid.
Multi-level marketing, because that's how they do Herbalife.
Herbalife, all of those.
Amway.
Yeah.
And
Does Amway still exist?
It does still exist. Yeah. Yeah.
Arbonne is one.
And isn't Mary Kay Cosmetics is one, right?
I don't know if Mary Kay is. I think it is because the pink Cadillac, whatever, is like at the top of the thing.
Sure.
Rodan and Fields, another skincare line.
But isn't the American dream really a Ponzi scheme? Isn't it a multi-level marketing thing? Because I was thinking about this when I was walking home from the gym this morning. I was thinking about all the cars there are and all the new cars. And if everybody had a car, then
we wouldn't have a planet.
What happens to all the old cars?
Yeah.
As I'm clearing out my closets right now, I just threw away a bunch of cassette tapes that I've held on to. I threw away the Pointer Sisters Breakout album. The album's called Breakout, that I had since 1983.
What'd you do with it?
Put it in the garbage.
You didn't bring it to Goodwill or something?
No, Goodwill don't want that.
You'd be surprised.
Well, maybe the people who go through the garbage will take it for me.
Well, it's funny you mention that, thinking about that, because we're in a real bad place right now. And it's not the scrap metal that we can get from that. It's got more to do with, yes, plastic bags, all the plastic packaging, but even more so, the issue with like throwaway clothing, disposable clothing. So you go to Forever 21 and you go to these small little places that I love, Primark in the UK, all these places, and you wear the clothes once or twice, 3 times, 4 if you're lucky, and then A, you don't want it anymore, B, it's ripped, C, it's falling apart. Out of fashion. What do you do with it? So then you think, well, I'll donate it. Great. But then these things that don't get bought have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
The amount of unwanted clothing and non-recyclable goods it could reach to heaven.
Right.
And that's really the problem, and a giant problem. So the cars are probably more recyclable than you think they are. What the real problem is plastics and clothing.
Yeah. There's a special on Netflix called, I think it's called Minimalist or Minimal.
Yes.
They talk about all that.
Yeah.
And and I'm a terrible, I have so much stuff.
We all are, and a lot of this has to do with, I'm a hoarder in a sense that I still have
What
stuff.
did you call me?
I called you a hoarder, bitch. You better own that shit. I have stuff from 8th and 7th grade.
I know you do.
That I've given to my children, and now Lola wears the stuff that she still...
And they're like, Mom, I'm not a whore.
Exactly, but I'm like, oh, just be a whore for a day, honey. Mommy wants to see you wear this outfit.
You wear this tube
just
top.
One day.
Yeah, just it's
Lola wore a tube top today.
Really?
Yeah. So, ironically, the stuff that I have obviously won't even fit on my thigh, but it does fit them. And
you won't throw it away because...
Well, there's always a memory attached with stuff, which is... Look, it sounds like I need an intervention. It's not that bad. My husband's my intervention. There are certain things that I hold on to, but the older I get, the better I am at giving it to somebody.
And you've lugged this stuff from
rehoming
coast
it
to coast.
How many times have I moved?
I don't, I've lost count.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yes... I keep stuff in those giant Rubbermaid tubs too.
I keep those in the. You've seen what I'm talking about.
Of course,
that's what I have,
and that's what I have too.
They're Christmas tree
ornament thingies.
They're storage for Christmas trees. We call them. They're like coffins. They're like plastic coffins.
They're long. They're see-through.
Yeah. Actually, I got mine at Hold Everything or the Container Store.
Container Store is great.
And when I went back last the end of Christmas, they didn't have anymore. So they had to order them from the company in China that makes them.
Well, you can get them in Target too.
Those things?
Yeah, you can.
Have you seen mine with the red tops?
I'm sure I have,
Yeah,
Rue, but
yeah.
there's really long ones. Target doesn't have them, I don't think, that long.
Right.
But they have like a step down that's. I have a few of the really long ones for gowns or whatever. I don't wear the gowns that you wear.
Right.
I don't have to worry about that stuff. My stuff is more cheap.
Well,
So,
I keep the gowns in there, which of course are not. You're supposed to actually store those kind of
hanging,
things in
aren't you?
hanging and wrapped in paper.
And like shrink wrapped almost.
I don't think shrink. I think the plastic is not good for.
Oh, the paper so it
clothing.
doesn't discolor.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. That's what somebody told me, but I ain't got no time for to be doing no paper.
But that's it.
I put those things in those plastic coffins.
I do too. I'm with you. So.
Yeah.
It's getting to the point like I brought a lot of stuff and sold it at DragCon because I want to see somebody wear the things. now.
Right.
Nobody's going to fit yours. You're 6'4". It's a different story.
Right.
But there's a lot of girls out there that write to me or love what I wear and would buy this stuff. And I don't gouge them. I just want them to, take it and wear it. And that's kind of what I've been doing lately is rehoming these items.
Yeah, well, I've been going through stuff. What is that thing on Oprah? They say if you haven't worn it in a year,
Yeah, but that's bullshit.
get rid of it.
Don't give me 1 year. Let me tell you why. We do too much. There's so much going on that 1 year, we have so much shit from all the years that you can't do that all in 1 year. And my weight goes up and down. There's different things. But back to what I was going to say originally is there's so much stuff that's gifted to us, and we're very lucky that'll take place of, oh, I bought this. You know what I mean? So the stuff that you would normally buy for yourself is bypassed with the gifts or with wardrobe or whatever that you end up having so much more than you intentionally planned on having.
Yeah, but again, I have to do an inventory all the time, and that's not just with stuff.
No, you're good at that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
You also have to do an inventory on your belief systems, on things that actually don't work for you. I mean, and that's all of what we're talking about is about being conscious.
And do you notice a change or a shift as you age? Do you notice your beliefs changing?
Absolutely. One of the things that this reoccurring thing is I talked about it in my keynote at DragCon is this thing with my father, and I have to continually say, Rue, remember that really actually didn't exist, and that you weren't really a part of that.
Nothing to do with it.
Had nothing to do with it.
That was all him.
So I acknowledge that your brain keeps bringing that up, but don't take the bait.
But having the wherewithal to be able to say, and this is like a lot of other pains that we experience, to be able to sit back and say, I acknowledge you. And I'm going to choose to let that go. And I have the same thing with being adopted and feeling not wanted from the womb, right? And that's why I'm always craving and needing. I want everybody to love me. I want everybody to get along. Please love. It's the same thing as you not feeling wanted that day.
Yes.
With your sister.
Yeah.
And I think the consciousness, like you were saying, and being present enough to be able to tell yourself, I see you, but I ain't studying you, is an accomplishment.
That's the cure in and of itself.
Yeah.
That separation from your thoughts, being aware of the thought, is the cure in and of itself. That's the cure. That separation, because you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness of your thoughts. And the fact that I'm aware, I had the thought, and I go, oh, thanks for sharing. That moment right there, that's the cure right there.
Very advanced.
Is it?
Yeah. Because we can say that all we want. But if we don't actually feel it, it's a different game.
Trust me, that thing will come back.
Maybe
it
if you
does
say
come
it
back. It's like a
enough,
tail that grows back. It will come back.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I can cure it in that moment by acknowledging the fact that I know what you're doing. I know what you're trying to. I know what you're trying to do, and it's not going to work.
And
thanks for sharing.
Do
but
you find that it works in that moment all
yes,
the time?
it does.
Good.
It does, because then I could take it to a next level and say, Rue, why are you doing that? It's like, oh, I know why. I know why you do that.
There's
all
a
the time.
payoff somewhere.
There's a payoff, and the payoff is I get to say, "F you, world. I've had it tough. So I have a green light to do whatever I want to because I had it tough." And it's like, actually, you could have had it tougher, and in this moment, you got it real good, kiddo.
Yeah.
So
Amen.
So don't go there. But I've been cleaning out stuff, and I too get when I try to clear out old clothing and stuff, I get an emotional charge.
Yeah.
Every time I touch
Yeah.
something, and I go,
What do you think that is?
This is when I wore this to so and so.
Yeah.
But that Pointer Sisters cassette, man.
What year is it from?
That's from 83.
83.
Yes, 83, because that was the big album for them.
I'm So Excited
with
album?
Jump. I'm So Excited was the album before that, but they later, on the later editions of that same breakout album, they put I'm So Excited on there.
Right.
They took a song off. They took Nightline off.
He's So Shy?
No, He's So Shy is from
70s. Okay.
No, He's So Shy, I think, is from 78.
I trust no one more than I trust you.
But it gets blurry, Michelle, because it gets very blurry. I mean, we're talking a few years.
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe it's 1980. I don't remember.
But it was before. He's So Shy was before Jump, because the Jump was like Beverly Hills Cop and Neutron Dance.
Yes,
I'm confusing it all.
No,
Okay.
the breakout album came out in 83.
Okay.
And it has all the hits. It has Jump. It has Neutron Dance. It has Baby Come and Get It. It has Automatic, which is a big hit.
Yeah.
Huge album. It sold,
Automatic.
yeah, it sold millions. And that was their huge. And then on later editions of that album,
They included
I'm So Excited.
Got it.
Because I'm So Excited came out earlier.
Got it.
Yeah. So threw away tons of stuff.
Well, I mean, you have it all digitally anyway. So it's
Exactly.
really not you're just getting rid of the physical, this thing right here.
Exactly.
And I have a few of those myself, but here's the weird thing. You know, everything is old is new again. And the kids, like Lily, you know, she loves all that old music and all that stuff, but she just got for Christmas, she got for Christmas like this player she asked for. It's a record player because she loves vinyl. But it's not just records. It has a CD and a cassette.
Does it turn the vinyl into an MP3?
Yes.
Of course.
That too.
Yeah.
So it's got all those things. But she goes to Salvation Army. That's where I get all the great Broadway soundtracks on CD
course,
too.
yeah.
I mean, I don't need them.
Yeah.
But in my car sometimes it's nice just to put a CD on and take away from the MP3 moment.
Yeah. We're going to take a break, but we've got the great Carol Kane coming up.
Oh my
who is
God.
So fabulous. And but after this commercial too, I want to talk about Patti LuPone.
Oh, honey, you don't got to tell me twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be
I'm
right
in.
back. So Michelle, you've been married 20 years.
Yes.
I've been with what's his name for many
23
Yes.
years.
There comes a time in your sexual relationship where you have to spice things up.
And that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing at all. No, it's just you're human, you know. Why not go to adamandeve.com and order some fabulous things for your lovemaking?
I have to tell you, my husband and I were celebrating our 20th anniversary. We just did last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going away in the next 2 weeks, going to Hawaii, as you know.
Uh-huh.
Don't think I haven't visited adamandeve.com for a little happy anniversary.
Ooh. Yeah.
Although the real treat is mine.
Yes.
But I act like I did it for him.
Sure. Well, you know, if you're happy, he's happy.
I mean,
and
this
that's
is
what
true.
it's all about.
This is true.
You know, a lot of couples go through that. And I always suggest, you know, why not wear a mask? Or why not wear some frilly little panties
Yeah.
on him?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
My husband likes when I throw on a pair of heels.
Hey.
And nothing else.
It's a great deal. Listen, Adam and Eve is your one-stop shopping for everything that's titillating in the bedroom.
You said it. Go to adamandeve.com for a limited time only. You'll get 50% off just about any item. Check out adamandeve.com today for this special offer. So to get 50% off one item, by the way, free shipping, just type in the offer code RU upon checkout. It's adamandeve.com.
Girl, Loot Crate is at it again.
You know I love me some Loot Crate.
Loot Crate. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Loot Crate. Because I'm sure you guys hear me saying a man's name, Loot Crate.
That's because
Loot Crate. It's loot.
it's because it's like the same thing with Toronto and Toronto.
Uh-huh.
We drop our T's are soft. So
Yes.
it is Loot Crate.
You have the softest tees in the business,
That's
Michelle.
what I've heard. Why do you think you keep me around? My teeth are soft.
Yes, Loot Crate.
Yeah, you guys. The thing about is in our house, you know, I have one. Lily gets a Loot Crate every month.
Yeah.
And she gets really excited because when it comes, you know, you see the box outside, you're like,
Uh-huh.
my Loot Crate's here. And you guys, if you collect that stuff or if you're really into any kind of
Franchise, the
And
movies,
yeah,
all of those
all of that
great
stuff.
movies.
Because I was going to say, it's not just animated stuff.
No.
It's not just, you know, comics. It's like a combination of everything.
Yeah.
And you guys, you can get this epic range of pop culture items for less than $20 a month. So if you're more of a fanatical fashionista, then Loot Wear.
Loot Wear, W-E-A-R,
I love that.
offers monthly wearables and accessories, a subscription that will fill your closet with cult classics and your favorite franchises. And if you want to get fancy, get a bigger box with even bigger loot. It's
Oh, I love a big box.
Loot Crate DX, I've heard.
Now, now, for people who don't understand, it's really literally a box of gear, of epic gear
Yeah.
that comes once a month for
Yeah.
pennies on the dollar.
I've gotten jackets, I've gotten hoodies, I've gotten, little things from movies.
Yeah.
Collectibles is the right word, not
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
But make sure you head to lootcrate.com/Rue. Enter the code RU to get $3 off on any new subscription today. You're going to love it. It's Loot Crate.
We are back, and you're ready to just talk.
I'm ready to just talk because I haven't seen you in way too long.
It's like, but it's been a week.
I
Has it
know,
been a
it's
week?
way too long. It's too long for me. Might not be you. It gives you a break from me, but
Yeah.
I need more of you.
No, I love it. I love it. So we were both in New York recently and both saw Patti LuPone on Broadway. And then we just backstory. I'd seen her in TV shows. She's in one of my favorite TV shows.
Life Goes On?
No, not Corky, but
We just call it quirky.
yeah, I call it Corky.
Oobla-dee.
But 30 Rock. She
Yes.
plays what's his name's mother. Brilliant. Seen her in movies. I saw her in a movie on the way to New York. I saw her in something with Robert De Niro called The Comedian, which is brilliant. It's a Taylor Hackford film. Brilliant movie. Loved it. She's great in it. But I'd never seen her on stage, which of course is the making of her legend.
It's
That's
where
why
she shines.
That's where she shines.
Yes.
I saw her in
War Paint.
Warpaint
With Christine Ebersole.
who is brilliant.
Brilliant.
But oh my God, Michelle, I was not prepared for what I saw.
Why
because
not have you not been listening to me for 25 years?
I have been listening. I had no idea. You have to see it in person to understand why she's brilliant. Every move she makes,
Yes.
like the Police song,
Yeah.
is magic. It's like a kabuki thing.
Yeah.
Every blink of her eye.
Everything's laced with intention.
Everything is laced
Yeah.
with intention.
Yes.
Every movement, every eye, and then the voice
Well,
is beyond.
She unhinges the jaw,
Unhinges the jaw.
and out comes magic.
Magical
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I'd never seen her on
You
show.
don't understand 9/10 of what she's saying, and it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And Christine Ebersole is fabulous.
Brilliant.
I've seen her on stage many times. In fact, I was in a movie with her, known her for years. Brilliant. But that Patti LuPone,
And by the way, she's 2'4".
too fit for.
Comes out there in these giant gowns
Uh-huh.
with jewelry that I covet. And by the way, sidebar War Paint,
Yeah.
the hats alone
The hats.
need their own Tony.
The hats need their own Tony.
Let's just get that out.
Beyond.
Yeah. So for me, I loved the musical. It's not. I'm not going to remember every song that's in it. There's like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Maybe even 4 really good numbers in
Yeah.
it. But the magic is Christine and Patti.
Yeah.
And specifically La LuPone.
Yes, absolutely.
She came out on stage. Of course, everybody screamed when
Yeah.
Christine came out, and then Patti came out. But I had tears welling up in my eyes, like that little girl. It brought me back to that Evita moment of.
What else had you seen her in on stage?
Well,
though?
the first thing I'd ever seen her in on stage was Masterclass,
Of course.
where she played Maria Callas.
Yeah.
And I was nervous, and I don't get nervous, but I went with my husband, who was in Juilliard, and it was like a special Juilliard screening, and then there was a Q&A. After, not screening, viewing, and afterward, and I couldn't, like, I was tongue-tied.
Yeah.
Because it was my first moment after worshiping her for all these years of finally seeing her up close and personal.
Do you know who I saw that show with? Who
Who?
starred in it? Dixie Carter.
With Masterclass.
Yeah.
First of all, Dixie Carter's another one of my favorites. Fucking genius.
Yeah, yeah.
Did not get enough credit as an actor,
No,
Dixie
it's
Carter.
true.
And beautiful. Rose McGowan looks just like Dixie Carter.
Yeah,
now.
she does.
But seeing her in that moment was like unbelievable. I'd never been able to see her in a musical. So that was my first time.
Was she in Assassins?
I don't know
I
if
don't
she
know.
was in Assassins.
What
She
is
was in Women on the Verge.
Uh-huh.
She was in a lot that I've never been able to see.
Right.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't think she was in Assassins.
Oh, but what was she in recently where she told the guy to put your cell phone down? What was
that
that?
was Gypsy, wasn't it?
Was that Gypsy?
I think she was Mama Rose when that happened. That was she
Well,
didn't just tell him. To
Yeah,
put his
she
cell
didn't. She
phone
go over
down.
and she took it from him, right?
Yeah, she berated him, and she's like,
Good.
Put your cell phone down." Like, it's legendary.
Good,
Yeah.
good. And that just happened like a year ago, right? Year
I
and a
think
half?
it's longer than that.
No.
but-
She did it again. There was
Yeah,
one.
she did do it again.
She did it again recently.
I'm gonna look it up just
Yeah.
so we know.
Well, oh my God, and of course I went with my Today Ticks. I was in New York
I
on my
did
own.
Today Ticks too,
I was
and
by
I went
myself.
alone you?
I was by myself. I was going. My friend Phoebe got married. She did the smart thing, though. Phoebe did. She got married separately and then had the party for everyone was just the party.
That is what you should do.
That's what you should do. You know why? Because it's so much more expensive to try to pair the ceremony with the reception party.
Let me tell you something. Oh, a sidebar. Douglas Carter Bean's comedy, Show for Days.
I love Douglas Carter
Shows
Bean.
for Days. That's the name of it. I was totally wrong. It wasn't even Gypsy, but Shows for Days.
Oh, I love, Douglas Carter
Oh,
Bean.
no, I was right. She stopped a performance of Gypsy in 2009 to berate someone who was taking
That was the
photos.
first time.
Yes. And then she did this in Douglas Carter Bean. That was 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because
With Michael Urie. He was in that
That's
too.
what it was. That's what it was. I saw Michael Urie play with him when I was there for 2 days, Michelle. I went there for my friend's thing on Sunday night.
And we'll get back to that
Yeah.
idea in a minute.
But
But that was brilliant. That I saw 2 shows in 2 days. I'm with you. I saw Glenn Close in Sunset, and then I saw Patty and Warpaint.
I saw.
Did you get to see Bet?
No, I got there on a Friday night. I woke up Saturday and I went to see Michael Urie. I realized next door Jody Watley was going to be at BB King's. I went and got a
Oh,
ticket.
How great.
I went there. I think it
How
was
was
that
that?
night.
Amazing?
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love me some Jody Watley.
Same.
Then the next day, I went and saw Miss Lupone in Warpaint. So it was a Sunday matinee.
I mean, you were very close to getting me to sing Sunday in the Park with George. But I can't say anything good enough about Warpaint. I loved it. And Glenn Close came out. Her voice, she did a voiceover. She had just been on 3 days of vocal rest. She announced to the crowd, hello, hi, it's Glenn. And everybody started screaming. And she said, I just want you to know that I'm not full voice, but I didn't want to let you down. There's no place I'd rather be than with this company. And she wasn't really strong vocally, but can I just tell you this sidebar story? So it was so inspirational to me that she was out there doing her thing. And there's so many great songs in Sunset, and she transforms on stage. It's really magical.
It's a hard show to sing, actually.
Hard show to sing.
Yeah.
It's it is what it is. It's high. She's brilliant in it. She's won the Tony for it. But then I just did a show recently in Zurich where I caught the crud. I got sick because we were doing this little Work the World tour where we'd do a show. I'd get 3 hours sleep, get up, have to take a plane to the next city, go do the show, go to sleep, 2.5 hours. My voice doesn't work like that. My voice, I need 8 hours. I need it. Otherwise, my voice goes. I'm going to go to your doctor to find out why my voice goes. It's always the first thing to go.
Well, I'm sure he's going to say because you're not working with a vocal coach.
But I am. I have one.
Yeah. Are you doing the vocal exercises
I vocalize
every day?
every single day when I'm performing.
Hate vocalizing.
Hate it. But I do. I have a 20-minute workout with my vocal coach on my phone that I do before every performance. And the last show that I performed in was Zurich. And I could barely even speak. And I thought, let me warm up. The warm-ups were horrendous. But I didn't have a track to lip sync when I was doing the Shirley Bassey song. And I was like, fuck it. I'll be able to sing above it. I will. It's not difficult. It's just at the tip of my range where I can belt. And I thought, I'm going to do it. Backstage, I went, get this party started on a Saturday night. And I went, oh, my God, I've started, and now I'm fucked. It was the worst. I've been performing for a very long time. Rue, it was the worst performance of my entire life.
Really?
That I had to joke about it.
So you got through the song, though?
No, barely. No. Halfway through, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm sick. Like, I couldn't even talk.
Yeah.
And by the end of the night, hosting the show, I could barely even speak.
Well, you could have Rex Harrisoned it.
But how? Like, I couldn't.
Get the party started.
Yes!
On a Saturday night.
You can hear I still have my cough. It was so dry and not breaking up, and my voice was gone. And I don't know why I did it. I should have cut the number.
Yeah.
I should have cut it. Never in my entire career have I gone out there like that. Ever.
Well,
I had to laugh at myself because at the end I was like, guys, I just saw Glenn Close in Sunset Boulevard and she did it half voiced, and I was like, you're my hero. And girl,
you could have done it in your soft. I was going to say
in my lady
in
voice,
your granny voice. Get the party started on a Saturday night. You know,
it wouldn't even go there. It didn't exist. Otherwise, I would have switched to a head voice. Because we know I like head.
Yeah.
It just didn't go.
Well,
wouldn't go.
The show's got to go on, and it's done. I think the audience understands.
They
I think
did, but it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I do highly recommend you lip syncing when you decide to tour.
Well, yes, absolutely. The thing to do is to re-record your vocals. Some of the top, I won't name any names, but some of the tops,
all of them.
what they will do is they will re-record their lead vocal. So it sounds like they're actually singing.
Every single one of them, from what I know on the inside.
Well, every single, although I got to say, on J-Lo's show, she sang about 60%. She sang her real voice about 60%.
And it ain't easy.
And it's not easy, but she was, she's amazing.
Yeah, I heard.
Amazing.
I heard.
But, everybody does it because of that thing is that you've got a tour that has to go on, and sometimes
you don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes
Yeah.
you wake up and you're like, what the?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had no idea. I was in Copenhagen. I woke up and I was like, oh, no.
Was there blood in your panties?
Never.
No. Okay.
No, I was okay. I was safe.
Well, sometimes you wake up and you don't know where you are.
I agree.
And you have to check around and see what's happening.
No roofie. I was okay.
So this was just a mini tour. How many countries did you guys?
I did like 7, I think.
7 countries.
London, Dublin, Stockholm, Copenhagen, Zurich. I know I'm leaving stuff out, but yeah.
Right. If it's Copenhagen, it must be Tuesday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there were brilliant audiences. They were just wonderful.
Yeah.
And
this is a different tour. This is not the
it's not bots.
It's not the Battle of the
Seasons. No.
Battle of the Seasons. It's something else.
This was called Work the World.
Yeah.
And Dublin, Stockholm, Oslo, Copenhagen.
I've never been to Oslo.
Oh, it's lovely. And the people are amazing. We had a great crowd there.
I've been to Stockholm, but not Oslo.
Stockholm was phenomenal.
I love it there.
And then Zurich was amazing.
Yeah.
Except for that little boo-boo.
All right, so we've got Carol Kane coming up.
Legend
we both
status, honey.
Love her so much. We're going to talk about everything with Carol Kane. She's just an amazing actor, and the fact that she's still working after all these years. You know how rare that is?
And so relevant. Just as much now than she was then.
I want to ask her about that. Like, how do you keep working? How do you? Because it doesn't get just down to talent. First of all, you have to want to do it,
and luck.
And luck is a huge factor. Talent, luck, wanting to do it, and there's got to be another element. I can't wait to ask her about that.
It's that perseverance, that stick-with-itness.
Yeah. A lot of people stick. Living here in LA, I've known many people from in different walks of life who've come here to be in show business, and most of them who are waiting tables, most of them it doesn't happen.
No,
most of them.
No, but you have to know that going in, that chances are you're not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us spin our wheels and just kind of stay in the middle forever. Some leave and just do something else because you realize it. You open your eyes. Some people lose a lot of time and a lot of money trying.
Yeah, but Michelle, you and I have both we've morphed in this business to whatever the client wants, that's what I'll do. I have to think that is the secret weapon. I have to think that because we're willing to learn something new and to think outside of our limited perception of who we think we are and go, radio? Sure, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Just don't forget to bring the cash.
Right.
And,
yes, Eddie.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And I think a lot of people are
survival of the fittest. It's adaptation.
Yes, but I think a lot of people are fixed in the way they want it to be.
Correct.
And that doesn't allow them to take opportunities as they appear.
It's producing themselves in life.
Yeah.
So we talk about often the queens trying to produce themselves on TV.
Trying to control what the audience thinks of them.
Correct. Or like they did it in Big Brother with people thinking, oh, I want the world to see me this way. But really, it always backfires.
Mm-hmm.
And B, you can't do that in life. And I think a lot of people try to by saying, no, that's not me. This is me. I'm going to act this way when really that's not who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take Katy Perry, for example. You were in that bubble with her, which is, imagine doing that for 35 days, 24 hours a day.
Oh, my God.
That was Big Brother. She basically did Big Brother for 4 days. And you went in there, and I think a lot of people saw more of who she more likely is in real life than who the Katy Perry character is. More Katherine Hudson, less Katy Perry.
Well, that can hurt people. I remember when I saw Purple Rain and I saw Prince emote for the first time, I thought,
Did it freak you out?
It did.
Seeing Prince outside of who he was.
Well, outside of my imagination. I mean, that was the whole thing with when MTV came around. It really is like video killed the radio star.
Yeah.
You know, once you get to see a person's personality, you go, oh, the fantasy's gone. That's why for years people have said that, you know, if you're gay in Hollywood, it won't work because the fantasy of what people like about you is you know.
Rock Hudson.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially if your fantasy is that, oh, he's so dreamy. I
Yeah.
want him to be my husband.
But that's so old-fashioned. That is so Rock Hudson. Like, remember when Clay Aiken couldn't come out because his Claymates would have been devastated? It was like, bitch, we knew all along. You're having the issue of coming out.
Right.
Nobody else.
We got to go to break, but you just said Claymates.
That's the name of
I
his...
know.
Isn't
It's
it amazing?
hilarious.
Isn't it amazing?
Claymates.
I wish my name was Clay just so I can have Claymates.
What do you have? Do you have Visages? What do you have?
It's, you know...
I have the Ruminati.
You do Ruminati! Oh, my God.
No, I just made that up. I don't have anybody, actually. What would you... Michelle-ites.
Visagitarians.
I love it. All right, when we come back, we've got Carol Kane.
Yes!
And she's got the sugar canes.
Oh, yeah, she does.
The sugar canes.
Or the candy cane.
Candy canes. Yes, I love it. We'll be right back. Oh, girl. You know,
Talk to me.
I
Talk
want
to
to talk
me.
about Adam and Eve.
Okay.
You know, we have such a taboo about sexuality in this country.
Why do you think that is?
You know, it's our Puritan roots. That's what it is. And then we all come from, you know, this shame of wanting and needing.
It's that is in itself a shame because we're only on this earth in this body for a certain amount of time. And if you can't get the ultimate pleasure, why bother?
Why bother? Exactly. That's where adamandeve.com comes in, because a lot of people have trouble going to a shop where they could pick something up in person.
But I understand that.
I understand it, sure. But, you know, Adam and Eve takes all of that shame away because you can do it online.
Hello.
You get whatever you want, whatever you need, online at adamandeve.com. All those sexual, sensual things that you might feel embarrassed to get at the local shop.
Yes,
you know.
you can get those. You can even get an adult movie. I have to tell you, since we started exploring with toys from adamandeve.com, it's been the best change in our lovemaking. When you're together for a long time or even not, there's nothing wrong with introducing that for fun. It's fun. It's not
fun.
like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
it's fun.
With someone that you feel safe with.
Of course.
And I bet 9 times out of 10, if you talk to any couple who's been together for many, many, many years,
Hello.
you will find out that they go to adamandeve.com for their sexual fantasies, pleasures, titillation. It's all there.
And here's the thing about adamandeve.com. For a limited time only, you're going to get 50% off just about any item. Their prices they are so affordable.
Yeah.
Their prices beat everybody. They're so great. Customer service, everything about Adam and Eve is fantastic. But that's not it, kids, because you know it's Rue and Michelle. So when you select one item at 50% off, you're also going to get a free mystery gift that's
Ooh.
so sexy.
Mother loves a mystery.
So sensual that we can't even mention it here on the podcast. And to top it all off, because everybody likes to top, they'll even throw in free shipping on your entire order. And no, we are not kidding, chow.
I love it. Free shipping.
Yes, free shipping. Go to adamandeve.com today for this special offer and get 50% off one item when you type in the offer code, what?
Are you?
Yes, adamandeve.com. We love you, babies.
We are here. We're already in mid-conversation already. Michelle, our special guest, is
Listen,
here.
a legend.
A legend.
This is a big moment for both of us.
For both of us. Carol Kane is here. My goodness. Brilliant. We love you so much.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. To talk about legends, I feel like I'm here with 2 other legends.
Oh, go on.
Now, you were nominated for an Academy Award for Hester Street.
That's right.
And that was like your 3rd, 4th movie, something like that?
Yeah, I guess I had my first movie. It was just a miracle. I got to work with Mike Nichols and Jack Nicholson.
In Carnal Knowledge?
Carnal Knowledge.
Oh, great movie.
That's your first movie.
That was my first role in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
I
And
had done a lot of extra work.
Hello.
Hello.
Here.
Paying the old bills.
And you got that job while in New York, the Mike Nichols job.
That's right.
And was that filmed in New York?
No, they were actually, the way I got that job was very odd because they were already shooting in Vancouver and they had not been able to find this particular character. And I went in to meet Juliet Taylor in Marion Dougherty's office, and she took a photograph and my theater resume, whatever, and sent it to Mike in Vancouver. And then he thought I looked right, and they brought me up to Vancouver. And I later found out. So the idea was that when I got there, if Mike liked me, I would stay and shoot the movie and shoot my scenes. And if he didn't so much, I'd be back the next day. And behind my back, my mother had called the producer and said, if you're going to put my daughter, because I was 16 or 17,
Wow.
if you're going to put my daughter through that, you have to fly her first class. So, that's my mama.
You mentioned Juliet Taylor, who is one of the most legendary casting directors in the world, in the history of show business.
Okay.
Over the years, you've been around for a long time, and you've been working for a long time. How much is making a good impression with the casting director or friends with the casting director? How much of that experience depends? Do you know what I'm saying?
How much matters?
A long
Yeah.
career. Does that help me out?
So being acquainted with and hopefully liked by and supported by a casting director is like inheriting gold bricks. I mean, it's very important to be supported, because some of the better ones, like Juliet, my friend Sheila Jaffe, who cast The Sopranos, the directors will collaborate with them, and they'll say no to somebody, and if a casting director is really behind you, she or he will say, I know why you're saying no, but I'm just asking you as a favor to me to see them. And strange things happen.
Yeah.
You get in a room and people's minds can be changed.
And
Sure.
they remember.
sometimes.
And they remember. Yeah, because now, okay, we're talking, Carnal Knowledge was 1971. It feels like you've worked every day since then.
Well, now, Rue, I would like to say that is correct. However, I have had a very strange and choppy career in that nothing I have ever done has ever led to anything else, basically, such as as you mentioned, I was, blessed to be nominated for Best Actress for Hester Street when I was 23. And then the phone didn't ring for a solid year. I'm talking about 12 months of a year.
Yeah, but Dog Day Afternoon came out right at that same year, didn't it? It was 75.
But well, I don't remember when it came out. I'm just telling you that between getting nominated, because, things come out at various times, but between sitting in the Academy Awards, blah, 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 and anybody calling for even a meeting or anything was a solid year. And then Gene Wilder called and asked me to do The World's Greatest Lover, which was my first comedy, which is remarkable because I had no idea how he could see in Giddle and Hester Street how I could be Annie and that, but he did, and he gave me that break.
But there were other big movies. Actually, let me go back. Why do you think the phone didn't ring for a year?
I think that the character I played in Hester Street was a Russian Jewish woman at the turn of the century who, for 2/3 of the movie, only spoke Yiddish, and for probably 9/10 of the movie wore a horsehair sheitel.
So therefore, not a lot of roles.
Therefore, I didn't spring into anyone's mind. And it was black and white. The movie, it cost $375,000. It was so amazing that I was nominated, and nobody. Yeah, I think that there always has been, and I think always will be, such a thing as typecasting, where if you are fortunate enough to play a wonderful role in a successful, fulfilling fashion, that's who people think you are.
Right.
And then it just follows that way. Now, for instance, I mostly am asked to do comedy, but as I said, I worked for definitely 14 years in movies and theater before I ever did a comedy. And
But then Simca changed our lives.
Yes.
wasn't that lucky?
I mean, well, luck and talent, darling, because to go and do a scene with the late, great Andy Kaufman, and who is a scene stealer by nature because he's insane.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
And insane genius,
performance artist.
Yes. You have to be able to hold, and you're a tiny bit of a woman, and you stole that whole moment in that
I don't
moment.
know that I stole it. I think
Equal.
we
How about that?
collaborated well, and that for me had a lot to do with Andy's generosity and that he really didn't want to be married or anything like that. And he took time to, him and Jimmy Burrows took me out to the Imperial Gardens and we got introduced that way. And then,
An arranged marriage.
it was arranged. Well, first I was his girlfriend, and then Andy took me out and taught me the language. And then, as I say, he did not want to be married, but that's the way it was written.
Yeah.
But then we also, Andy originated that character, Foreign Man, in nightclubs. But for me, the writing, is everything. And Simca was so beautifully written that I swear to God, and I am not kidding with you, sometimes I would drive on that lot, that Paramount lot, and think, they do not understand that I would pay them to get to say these words.
Yeah.
Right.
Pay them.
Yeah.
Peel me like a grape so I can get out of here.
Yeah.
How much do you want? Just don't take it away from me.
Of course, we're talking about the television show Taxi,
Taxi.
and which was legendary. But you continue to work in movies. I just want to go back a little bit with Dog Day Afternoon. The great Sidney Lumet directed that. That happened. I guess you filmed that before you filmed not Hester Street.
I don't know. I should have researched me
Yeah.
because I never know what year anything happened.
Rue
Did
is
I?
like kind of a savant with
No,
the years,
I think
too.
that was after.
It was after.
It was?
No, I'm asking.
I'll tell you while you guys debate.
You
okay?
look and we'll say.
Thank
But-
God for Google.
But
Yes,
know,
honey.
you've been in the business for a long time. What do you
Yes.
think? Why do you think you have been allowed to work for so long? You're an excellent. You've got it. But
Hester
a lot of
Street
people
and
have
Dog Day
it.
Afternoon, both year, same year, 75.
Same year, 75. Yeah.
But I don't know which.
Says Hester Street came out first.
See, Rue?
She knows.
Who was
see?
right? That's all I'm saying. Like I said,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what's the secret to your longevity?
Again, I have to say part of it is luck, and I think that I had a wonderful acting teacher and acting coach. I think that I, fell in love so young. I mean, I was in both unions by the time I was 14.
Wow.
And fell in love so young, and until I was much older, I couldn't think of anything else in the world that I wanted to do. When I was older, I realized that I would have loved to be a vet, but I passed math with a D, so I think the chemistry part would have eluded me.
Yes.
But I think, and then just, a combination of good genes and that I'm still upright.
Yeah,
and, genes have everything to do with your longevity.
You have a strong constitution.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, in the 70s, when you'd go on auditions, what actress would you always see at the audition? Who was always up for the same role with
okay. It's interesting because the great Sissy Spacek and myself had a brilliant manager named Bill Tresh, and Sissy and I would be up for a lot of the same movies. Like I was up for Carrie and didn't get it, and then Swoozie sometimes, Swoozie Kurtz. Gosh,
And then in the 80s, who were you up in the room with? Do you remember, because it would change every decade?
I don't know. These are ladies who have also had the same kind of longevity.
Yeah.
I think Let me think a couple.
Because the thing is this, having been in the business for so long, you've seen people come and go. It's not for sissies, this business. So when someone has had a career like you've had, you have to actually take it apart and go, wow, because it's not normal for someone to work as long as you've worked.
Is that true? Well,
Yeah,
I don't know, but
absolutely. No, most
also,
people...
necessity, as they say, is the mother of invention. I had to support myself, and I am privileged to still have my mom with me. I'm so privileged, and she's a musician who's writing her 7th book that she gets her publishers in Paris. So we're going there soon to meet with her publisher.
Talk about good genes, honey.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, you got
and
them.
My dad was a brilliant architect, and so when I was young, there were exquisite art books all over the house, and ballet and music and things that helped me to fall in love early. And my favorite thing to do when I was little was to take these great art books and sit in front of the mirror in the bathroom with my F.A.O. Schwartz makeup kit and try and look like those photographs, or paintings.
You do. You look like those. You look like you could have lived in every era of mankind on this planet. You have that kind of look where you could fit in any era.
Timeless.
Yeah. It's really amazing.
Why haven't I been here before? This is doing wonders for a girl's ego.
No, it's absolutely, it's really
Thank
amazing.
you both. I think you're overly kind, but thank you.
And throughout your career, not only is it prolific and amazing, but you've worked with more
The greats.
legends. Yeah, like Woody Allen even, and as far as the actors go, I mean, you talk about Sidney
Woody
Lumet
Allen,
and
Sidney,
Gene Wilder
Hal
and
Ashby. My
Bill
first
Murray.
director was Mike Nichols.
Mike Nichols,
the first director. That's
Can you imagine?
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, the greatest of them all.
Yeah.
And recently I got to do a play in London directed by Ian Rickson, who directed Jerusalem, and Ellen Burstyn and Elizabeth Moss and Keira Knightley were in
my
it.
goodness.
Wow, what a cast.
I know. I just really, really, really fortunate. And also, when I started so young that I didn't realize the odds were way against me, so I wasn't as frightened to audition or go in the room. And now I'm just terrified.
Oh,
in fact,
my goodness.
Last year I did a big audition that nearly killed me, and I decided that I couldn't do it anymore. And
Really?
And right after I decided that, I got Kimmy Schmidt and Gotham.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I want to talk about both those shows after this break. I also want to pitch you my latest script, which is called When a Stranger Calls Me Darling.
Darling, I'm in.
We'll be right back with Carol Kane. Bow-legged loot crate. Yeah, he used to go out with Lisa now.
That's
At
right.
the Coke Club.
Bow-legged loot crate.
Coke Force. Wait, Full Force and Cult Jam. Yeah. All right. Hey, Michelle, Loot Crate is at it again, honey. They don't stop. They are stuffing these boxes with so much gorgeous stuff. I'm talking epic gear.
I'm pretty sure you said stuffing their boxes.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
Full of everything that you want. We're talking apparel, collectibles, unique, one-of-a-kind items, and more.
Yeah, you guys. And the best thing is this monthly subscription, over $45 worth of stuff for under $20 a month. And I'm telling you, you've heard me say it ad nauseum, that I have it for my daughter. My husband tries to dip in. She's like, get your hands out of my Loot Crate box. And there's all different ones, too, you guys. There's one for your pet. There's the anime box. I switched back and forth till Lily gets the anime versus the regular. And then there's the Loot Crate DX if you want to get fancy in a bigger box with even bigger loot. Check that one out as well. There's all sorts of different things for you guys to choose from. There's a wide range of exclusive items you can't get anywhere else, from fan favorite franchises like, you guys know, I'm a huge Harry Potter fanatic.
Yes.
So they have one like that, Marvel Comics, Fallout 4 like you mentioned.
I love Fallout 4.
Yes, Star Wars, so much more. You can get all of them for less than $20 a month. Make sure you head to lootcrate.com/Rue. Enter that code RU to get $3 off any new subscription today. Let me spell it, because Rue did point out it sounds like we're saying Loot Crate.
Does it sound like Loot Crate?
I hang out with Loot Crate. That's Loot Crate, LOOTCRATE.com/RU. Offer code RUE. Get your Loot Crate today.
We are back with Carol Kane, the great Carol Kane. My goodness, the longest career in showbiz history. Now on Kimmy Schmidt.
Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Is that not a great theme?
It's
That's
great.
Jeffrey Richmond wrote that. He
Brilliant.
writes all the music for the show. He coincidentally is married to the lovely and brilliant Tina Fey.
Oh, is that her husband?
Yes, and they're doing the musical version of Mean Girls right now.
Oh,
forgot
my
about that.
goodness.
Yes,
And he's
That's
doing the
gonna be
music.
good.
and he's doing the music. I mean, that theme song knocks me out.
It's fantastic. Now,
And he writes all the stuff that Titus sings.
Yes.
during
What's
it,
the wine? What was
Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir. Yes.
He wrote,
yes.
and I've gotten to sing a duet with Titus that Jeffrey
You
wrote.
did there was a musical. There was a musical episode. There was a musical theater episode.
Yeah.
It must be so great to work with other great actors like Titus. I mean,
Yes.
how much of the chemistry that you guys have was just happened on the spot?
Well, all of it, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. It just
I mean, we had guidance, of course, with the writing and who we were to be to each other. But I think that we fell into a good rhythm.
Yeah.
And Ellie
together.
too, because she's
Yeah.
Ellie is so
brilliant.
brilliant. And also, I have to say, one of the kindest human beings I have ever met on the planet, and generous. And that really sets the tone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She's our leading lady, and she sets that tone.
yeah.
awesome.
Tell me about the role on Gotham. Who do you play on Gotham?
I play Gertrude Cobblepot, the mother of the penguin.
Uh-huh.
And she is Eastern European
Uh-huh.
woman as well. And I did get killed. And then I reappeared once after I was murdered, but I haven't been on it lately. But I play the mother of this genius young man named Robin Lord Taylor, who plays the penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to do an accent for? I'm sorry.
Yes,
I don't
oh
know.
yes,
So,
Eastern European.
I mean, going back to Simca and learning the language, you said you kind of glossed over
Yeah.
it. What was that like? Because as a kid watching that in the 70s, was that in the 70s? You really believed that this was a real language.
Yeah.
That was not
Well, that's
made up.
because of Andy, because the rhythms were so specific.
Right.
And for Andy, it was so easy and natural. I was really all in a dither as to how I was going to learn this. And then Andy said to me, well, it's just like when you're 5 and you open your mouth and you speak Russian or Chinese or whatever. You just open your mouth and start talking.
Yeah.
That's what it was for him. He had so much freedom.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you're little and you play act.
Yes.
And you start being the queen or the this or
Yeah.
the that, and it comes out because you're not judging yourself.
Yeah.
That's what it was for Andy. And then he took me out to dinner at a Chinese restaurant, and we spoke. When the waiter came, we only spoke in that language. And so when Andy and I conferred what I was going to have, and then when the waiter came, then I spoke to Andy only in that language of what I wanted, and then Andy would translate to the waiter, so that we were having an experience like a couple from another.
So were there
Yeah.
words that were specific words that had to be hit
There
to
were
make
a
it
few. There was yaktabe,
consistent?
which was but, and a few things like that. But then there were a lot of them that were just. Here's the really interesting thing to me: all of our lines were written in English.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we were speaking our language, it
Really?
was always written in English. So we were saying something very specific and telling the story with the right, emotions, very specific. But we just did the sort of automatic translation, but we knew what we were saying very specifically.
wow.
Right. Wow.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, in Hester Street, you spoke mostly Yiddish. Do you have
Mostly.
what are your favorite Yiddish words? I'm obsessed with Yiddish.
What is your favorite?
Right now, it's I don't need to hear a whole Geschichte story. You know what Geschichte
That's
is?
a good one. No.
It's a grandmother's tale. It's a long, drawn-out story. I learned that from Judge Judy, actually. I don't need to hear a
You
whole
like-
Geschichte story.
You like chaza?
Yes, I used Haza twice today already.
Chazarai?
Yeah.
Chazarai.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite Yiddish
trying to think
words
what I'd
for
say.
our audience?
God.
Because Michelle, you were talking about a mitzi.
Mitzvah.
A mitzvah?
A
Doing a
mitzvah.
mitzvah?
No, what was the thing from a few days
a
ago?
mensch,
It was
a geschrei.
what's that? A geshrei?
Ah!
Oh.
only know the basic ones from Brooklyn.
What
where
is
my
it? Okay,
relatives,
tell
you know,
us
like
one.
all those words.
No, it was when we were with Dan Levy and you said something. It's a little bath. Maybe it's a little bath.
Oh, that's a mikvah.
Oh, a mikvah.
Yeah, mikvah
Yeah.
bath.
Did you have someone training you with Yiddish on the movie Hester
Oh,
Street?
absolutely. I had a man from the Yiddish theater, Joan Micklin Silver, wrote it, and again, so beautifully wrote it. And then she hired a man who had been in the Yiddish theater all his life, and he worked with us a long time.
It's like learning
me and Stephen
script
Keats.
in a whole separate language.
Yeah.
So you booked the gig, and now, surprise, you have to learn this whole
Well, it
language.
wasn't a surprise.
Thank God.
Because part of that auditioning process, which was not easy, it was long. The last part of that process was to audition in Yiddish. So I worked with this teacher before my final audition just to see if I could sound
Believable,
fluent
yeah.
and fluid and believable.
Wow.
That's a commitment, kiddo.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But it's a commitment, but it's also such a gift and a treasure, to find something that is that complex and specific and intricate and where a world is being recreated and you get the opportunity to research that whole world.
Are you Jewish?
I am Jewish.
So at
but
least you had
knew-
an idea?
As we say, I knew from nothing. I really knew from nothing. But then I started reading books and looking at the photographs of the immigrants and going to the Jewish Museum. And, I learned about a whole new world. And that is one of the great privileges of being an actor. Because, for instance, Dog Day Afternoon, we had to learn about being bank tellers. You learn about that. And you get to do all these things that you couldn't do in one lifetime.
You have many lives in one lifetime. Now, I wanted to ask. We joked about my new script, which is when a stranger calls me darling.
Am I going to get to be in it?
Yes, of course. It's based around you.
It's based on you. But that was, you had started out in dramatic films, and then you were known for comedies, and then in 1979, when A Stranger Calls came out, I was surprised that you were in another,
Dark
drama.
horror. It's a horror
But
drama.
again, that's
It's a thriller.
No, it's a thriller. You're right.
That is my
Your wheelhouse.
and that movie was produced by my oldest friend in the world, who I went to high school with since I was 13, Doug Chapin,
What's his name? Doug
Chapin, who also produced What's Love Got to Do with It.
Oh.
And so yeah,
And that
And
was a
at the time, by the way, I was doing a dramatic play, an old German play by Horvath up at Yale University. I mean, that was what I did mostly.
But it was because of Taxi and because of so many other roles, it was the comedy that really, in my mind at least, that I thought of you as
100%.
a
Well,
comic
that's
actor.
what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I became known as sort of a comedian. But I'm an
Scrooged
actor.
is the funniest thing I've ever. I can't.
Again, writing Mitch Glazer, Michael O'Donoghue, Mr. Mike on Saturday
Yes,
Night
Michael
Live,
O'Donoghue. Yes.
directed by Dick Donner.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The great genius Bill Murray, who, talk about comedy and drama, is, a phenomenal dramatic actor.
Yes.
Phenomenal. I have secret wishes that I wanted to do with Bill Murray. I wanted to be in Long Day's Journey with Bill, who I think he would be amazing.
Wow.
And I had hoped to do Virginia Woolf. Both of these things have now been done a lot, but those I want specifically to do those with Bill.
Doesn't matter how many times they're done. It's not you and Bill.
Yeah, it'd be great. Now, I just want to go back to When a Stranger Calls, because that was a surprise hit, and it's actually a classic. That terminology, I use it all the time as a metaphor in general, which is the calls are coming from inside the house. Get out of the house.
Charlie Durning said that to me.
Yes, and it's a brilliant actor, another brilliant actor. That was a complete surprise hit, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Again, a small, low budget. Just beautifully directed and written and produced, and
Were
it
you
was
surprised when they asked you to do the sequel?
not really surprised because it was the same team.
Many years later. How many years later was the sequel?
I don't know. We'd have to Google.
I think it must. So
Was Stranger
79.
Calls, was that 70?
79 was the original, and I think it was in the 90s. I think the sequel was in the 90s.
Am I allowed to interrupt?
Yes, you can.
Please.
I forgot the name. It's Fred something, the name of the director, and I really
tell you
must
Fred
say...
Schmepschi?
Not Skepsy, no.
Skepschi?
He's Australian.
I'm going down to 79. You've done too many films, darling.
Yes. So way too
Just
many
put
films.
When a Stranger Calls.
Got it. Hang on.
Because is it called When a Stranger Calls Again? When a Stranger
No,
Calls
it's
Back.
called When a Stranger Calls Back.
When a Stranger Calls Back.
And that's pretty scary, too,
Fred
because
Walton.
Fred Walton.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now I can keep talking. I just want to say his name.
Fred Walton. Another incredible success with that one, too. You get points on that one?
I don't think I did.
Oh,
When a
because-
Stranger Calls, directed by Fred Walton.
Uh-huh.
And then the sequel, one is always nervous about a sequel, but Charlie Durning and I both got to be in it again. And Fred wrote another magnificent script, and that worked out too.
93, you're right.
It's 93.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, weren't you in
To be specific, I'm not 93. The movie came out in 93.
Yes, When a Stranger Calls
Thank
Back.
you, Rue.
93. Oh, my God.
And then, weren't you in the movie The Lemon Sisters?
The Lemon Sisters, so much fun with my girlfriend Diane Keaton and Catherine Grody.
Yeah.
And, oh, God, we had a ball on that. We got to sing. Paul Schaefer did the music with us. He taught us our songs, and we got to fly back and forth on a helicopter to Atlantic City and shoot on the boardwalk. And oh, it was so much fun.
Adam's Family Values.
Oh, yes.
Well, I want to talk about also the costumes for the Lemon Sisters were done by the great Susan Becker, who did the costumes for Baby Boom, and just brilliant. And I'm sorry, what are we talking about?
So
You've done too much.
Susan Becker is a Diane Keaton person who she brings on her movies.
As much as possible, but Susie has designed many great movies. The one with Tom Cruise and Nicole.
Far and Away.
Yeah.
No.
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder, and also Lost Boys. The one.
Yeah.
So many fantastic looks that she's created.
So now you've worked with everybody. Tell me about the kind of actors that really make your titties hard. Tell me about the actors that you can't wait to get to the set because you're just cooking with fire. It's just bing, 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 bing.
As you say, I've gotten to work with a lot of great actors. Like Al and Pacino and John Cazale and Diane Keaton, and I mean, so many great actors. But I have not worked with two of my most all-time people that I worship as artists, which is Marty Scorsese. I've never worked with, and I've never worked with Robert De Niro.
Really?
Oh, I worked with Chris Walken a couple of times on stage and on film, and oh my goodness, and Billy Crystal and Mandy Patinkin.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, give me a break, Charlie Durning,
Have you been with the same agency all these years?
No, I have not, but that is a product of the fact that I was too young. I didn't understand about things, and I left people I should never have left because I, in my youth, somehow thought somebody else could do. But I was seduced by, big, glamorous things, but as I said, anything I've done, I have not worked for a long time after, even though it might seem to you that I work consistently, but I don't. I really don't. And so when I was very young, I thought, well, that must be my agent's fault, But that wasn't the truth. That was just the rhythm that my particular career has. And I really was very foolhardy and left some brilliant and loving agents.
Now, for people who are in the show business, and we're going to wrap it up in a minute, but I just want to know what advice you have for people who want to do this kind of work. What could you tell What could you tell the younger Carol Kane about show business that you now know that you didn't know before?
Well, I just said one of the things, which is, if somebody passionately believes in you, stick with that person, even though they may not be in the biggest, most glamorous agency, because if they believe in you, they'll fight for you. Mm-hmm. And that's something really important. I did know certain things that I think would be valuable for other young people, but such as the fact that I think it's really important to study with great teachers, really important.
Who did you study with in New York?
Well, I study, and I still sometimes work with her. Marilyn Freed was the name of my teacher, and I also studied with the great Bill Hickey.
Oh,
and, I mean, imagine, right?
I auditioned to take his master class in New York. He used to teach in around Carnegie Hall, or
did he? I also taught at HB Studios.
Yeah, that's where HB Studios. But wasn't that over there?
When I was that. No, that was downtown.
I auditioned for his master class and didn't get in. So how about that?
And then I made bad choices again sometimes when I was young because I was offered something really hard and then was offered something that I might make money on, and I made the bad choice of not going with the great writing, the great work. Mm-hmm. And so I would definitely tell the young Carol is do not ever make a choice for money. You have to do what's in your heart and what's going to really expand your spirit and your artistry. And I did make some bad choices in that area, and some incredible things came my way here's another thing that I did, which I think a lot of young actors do, which is my success came to me so young and so fast that I wasn't up to it. And after Hester Street, some movies came my way at a point that I just couldn't accept them. I couldn't, because I didn't feel worthy of what was coming to me. And I couldn't take the fame. And as you know, a lot of people crack under fame when you're young, especially. And I was one of those. I got rid of it. So I would say to my younger self, it's okay. Keep breathing. Take it one day at a time, one foot in front of the other, and don't be so frightened.
Well, that's good advice, and you've done very well for yourself. So we are so happy that you're here. We're happy that your road led you to where we are right now.
Yes.
Me too. I'm grateful to talk to both of you.
You are absolutely lovely. We are huge fans here, and we will watch you in whatever you do.
You know I'm huge fans of yours.
Thank you so much.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes.
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Amen.